All right, let's dive in. Today we're looking at sustainable entrepreneurship.
Oh, no.
Specifically, this thing called Eco Entrepreneurs Academy.
Oh,
So we found this YouTube video, and it like lays out their whole thing, the courses they offer, their community, and this really unique approach to reforestation they've got going on.
reforestation.
Yeah. But honestly, the thing that really caught my eye was their connection to cryptocurrency.
Hmm. How so?
Well, they actually let you pay for membership using digital coins. Who had thought saving the planet could involve, like, Bitcoin or something?
It's definitely an interesting intersection seeing those two worlds collide.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got this huge wave of businesses trying to be more eco-conscious these days.
Totally.
And this academy seems to be, positioning itself as the place to go to figure out how to make that happen.
Exactly. It's not enough to just, want to do good. You need a solid business plan that bakes in sustainability from the start.
Right.
What I like about this academy is they're not just preaching sustainability, they're giving entrepreneurs actual tools and strategies.
I see. So it's very practical.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They've got this premium online community where they offer courses on everything.
Like what?
Well, they cover the challenges you face as an eco-conscious business, green product development, even marketing tactics that align with those values.
Interesting.
And get this, they even have a daily podcast at 7 a.m. for those who need an extra boost of, like, inspiration.
Wow, they're really going all out.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting is this focus on financial growth, but within a sustainable framework.
Yeah.
They're not shying away from the fact that businesses need to make a profit, but they're showing how to do it while being responsible.
It's like having your cake and eating it too, but for the planet.
Exactly. For example, they have this course on the circular economy. It's all about minimizing waste and reusing resources. It's good for the planet 80, your bottom line.
Okay, so they teach you how to make money while being eco-conscious. But how does the reforestation fit into all this? I mean, the video mentioned that half their membership fees go directly to funding those projects.
Yes. That's a key part of their model.
But it's worldwide, right?
Yeah, worldwide. And they don't just say, well, we planted some trees. They give members certificates to track their individual impact on those reforestation efforts.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a clever way to show you, tangibly, where your money is going.
Yeah.
It's almost like gamifying the process, in
Yeah.
a way.
I like that. Speaking of money, they've got a 7-day free trial, and their monthly fee is super reasonable, especially if you go for the yearly option.
Not bad at all.
And get this, they accept payment in Pi Network cryptocurrency. I mean, that's pretty cutting edge for an organization focused on sustainability.
It definitely is. Now, cryptocurrency itself is, well, it's a whole other topic with its own environmental impacts to consider.
Right.
But this Pi network claims to be more energy efficient than traditional cryptocurrencies.
So they're really trying to be sustainable on all fronts.
It seems that way. It shows they're willing to embrace new technologies, even ones that are still developing, as long as they align with their values.
Yeah, they're not afraid to experiment.
And that aligns with the founder's own journey.
Yeah.
The video talks about how he started out selling eco-friendly books.
Oh, yeah, I remember that part.
It's like he's always been drawn to this idea of sustainability.
What's really interesting is how he went from selling physical products to building online communities centered around reforestation.
It's a big shift, right? It suggests he's not just focused on individual consumption habits, but on collective action and sharing knowledge.
Totally. So he starts with selling books, and then what? How did he make that leap?
Well, the video briefly mentions him using platforms like Mighty Networks and something called School.
School? What's that?
It sounds like another online learning and community platform he used before starting the Eco Entrepreneurs Academy.
Ah, got it.
He even gives you a tour of their old school community. It's full of courses on building paid communities, achieving financial growth, all with this focus on sustainability.
It's like a prototype for the academy.
Exactly. So you can see that he was already building the foundation for this community-driven approach to sustainable entrepreneurship.
But what made him decide to switch from those platforms to creating a dedicated academy?
That's a good question. It seems like he was always experimenting, always adapting.
Always trying to find that perfect platform to really make his vision a reality.
Yeah, exactly. The video shows snippets of his journey, offering courses on automation, partnering with One Tree Planted, hosting icebreaker challenges, doing daily motivation classes.
Wow, he's been busy.
Gives you a real sense of how his approach evolved over time and how he built this community around him.
He even says his community was the most informative one on School out of, like, 20,000 others.
That's quite a claim.
It makes you wonder, though, what made his community stand out from the rest? Was it the content, the engagement, the structure, or all of the above?
It would be fascinating to dig deeper into that.
And how did all those experiences shape the Eco Entrepreneurs Academy? Was there a specific aha moment that led him to create a dedicated platform?
Well, one thing's for sure. The guy is passionate about empowering entrepreneurs to succeed while making a positive impact. That comes across loud and clear.
Absolutely. And he's not afraid to get personal either, sharing his own struggles and successes along the way. He talks about moving from mighty networks to school, the challenges of building and migrating a community, the importance of adapting to the ever-changing world of online platforms.
It makes him relatable.
Uh-huh.
He's not just some guru on a pedestal. He's a real person who's been through it.
Yeah, it makes his story all the more inspiring.
It reminds you that building something meaningful takes time, effort, and a willingness to embrace those books along the road.
So true. But before we get too deep into the founder's journey, I want to circle back to the reforestation aspect. The video mentions planting trees all over the world, but what makes their approach different? Is it the scale, the methods they use, the types of trees they plant, or something else entirely?
Now, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And we'll dive into all that and more right after this.
Sounds good. All right, so before the break, we were about to dig into the details of their reforestation efforts.
Yeah, it's not just about, like, sticking trees in the ground, right?
Right.
There's got to be a strategy behind it to make sure those trees actually survive and make a real impact.
Absolutely. You need to consider the ecological side of things, the long-term sustainability.
So what's their methodology? Do they focus on certain types of trees? Do they partner with local communities? I mean, what are they doing to ensure these trees actually thrive? It's one thing to plant a sapling, it's a whole other thing to create a whole forest ecosystem.
For sure. And the video does offer some glimpses into their approach. You mentioned planting in all sorts of places: Costa Rica, Vietnam, Kenya, Mexico, even Canada.
Wow, all over the place.
It seems like they're thinking about regional differences, maybe working with local experts.
That's good to hear, yeah.
It suggests a more holistic approach.
Not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly.
But what about the scale? How many trees have they planted so far? Do they have specific goals? I mean, it's cool to see those images of them planting, but I'd love to know the actual numbers, the impact they're making.
I hear you. The video doesn't actually say how many trees they've planted.
Really?
But the founder does talk a lot about transparency and accountability. He mentions that members get certificates to track their individual impact.
Oh, right.
So, there must be some system for tracking their progress.
Makes sense.
It'll be interesting to see how they present that data to the public, though.
Yeah, transparency is key, especially when it comes to environmental stuff.
Absolutely.
It builds trust, lets people see where their money is going, what's actually being achieved.
For sure.
But it's not enough to just plant trees, right? We need to address what's causing deforestation in the first place.
Getting to the root of the problem.
The video mentions wildfires, which are obviously devastating, but it doesn't really dig into the bigger issues driving deforestation, like unsustainable logging practices, land conversion for agriculture, things like that.
You're right. Those are crucial factors.
We need to look at the whole picture.
Effective reforestation needs a multi-pronged approach. You tackle the symptoms, A&D the underlying causes.
Couldn't agree more.
So while planting trees is important, we also need to promote sustainable land management, protect existing forests, and create economic alternatives to deforestation.
It's about changing our mindset, right? Shifting from exploitation to stewardship.
Yeah, exactly. It's about coexisting with nature, not just taking from it.
And that's where the entrepreneurship side comes in. This academy isn't just about trees. It's about empowering people to create businesses that are both profitable and sustainable.
A win-win, right?
Right. The video highlights all the perks of joining access to a supportive community on mighty networks, courses on building paid communities, opportunities to connect with other eco-conscious entrepreneurs.
It's like they're creating a whole ecosystem for these businesses to thrive.
And it's not just about information and resources. It's about a shift in mindset.
Like changing how you think about business in general.
The founder talks about wanting his members to thrive and grow, not just financially, but as people.
It's about holistic well-being, right? Not just profits.
Exactly. They're integrating all these elements into their curriculum, building a more comprehensive understanding of what sustainable entrepreneurship really means.
And they're practicing what they preach too, incorporating sustainable practices into their own operations.
Like using cryptocurrency, online platforms, minimizing their physical footprint.
They're really trying to embody the principles they're teaching.
It's not all about the founder, though. He emphasizes collaboration and community involvement. He talks about working with businesses, giving them those certificates to track their impact, even mentioning tax deductions for companies that get involved.
Ah, so they're creating financial incentives too.
Smart move, right. Makes it more appealing for businesses to jump on board.
It's a win-win for everyone. Businesses boost their reputation, contribute to a good cause, and the Academy gets more support for their reforestation efforts.
It's all about leveraging that collective power to achieve something bigger.
Exactly.
And they're not just targeting big corporations, they want individuals to get involved too.
Which makes sense, given their affordable membership fees.
It makes it accessible to a wider audience. Anyone who's passionate about sustainability can contribute.
Right, and building a movement requires getting everyone involved.
They have different membership tiers, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, so people can choose what works for their budget.
That's a good way to cater to different levels of involvement.
And the founder really emphasizes that personal touch, encouraging people to just DM him if they have questions.
It's a nice touch, makes it feel less impersonal, like you're actually part of a community.
Exactly. It's not just a transactional thing like some online courses can be.
It builds trust and loyalty when you feel like you can actually connect with the people behind it.
Definitely.
He's also not shy about showcasing his members' success stories, highlighting their businesses on the Eco-Entrepreneurs website.
Yeah, it's great to see real people achieving real results.
It adds a layer of authenticity, shows that this stuff actually works.
But what really struck me was the founder's genuine emotion when he talked about fighting deforestation.
Oh yeah, he was really passionate about it.
It wasn't just about statistics and data. He connected it to the decline of ocean life, endangered species like orcas.
It's a powerful way to make it relatable. Show that it's not just about trees, it's about the whole ecosystem.
Absolutely.
It's about protecting the planet for future generations.
It's a reminder that our actions have consequences, that we have a responsibility to act.
But he doesn't just dwell on the negative.
No, he definitely offers a message of hope.
He emphasizes the power we have to create positive change.
And he's not talking about grand gestures either. He talks about making small changes, conscious choices in our daily lives, supporting businesses that align with our values.
It's about taking those small steps and realizing that they add up.
And he's not just talking the talk, he's out there planting trees, working alongside his community to restore those landscapes.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
It's inspiring to see that level of commitment.
Definitely.
I was also fascinated by how he framed reforestation not just as an environmental solution, but as an economic one.
Ah, yes. Creating jobs, boosting local economies.
Providing sustainable income for communities that depend on those forests.
That's a crucial point, making it economically viable as well.
Sustainable solutions need to work on multiple levels, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just about saving trees, it's about creating a more just and equitable world.
Where people and planet can thrive together.
And that's what I love about this Academy's mission. It's about empowering a new generation of entrepreneurs who are building businesses with purpose.
It's a vision that challenges us to rethink the way we do things, to believe that a different future is possible.
It's about making sustainability more than just a buzzword. It's about making it a way of life.
And it all starts with taking that first step.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have a question for our listeners.
Okay, what's that?
What resonated with you the most about the Eco-Entrepreneurs Academy? What actions, big or small, might you consider incorporating into your own life, your own work? It's something to think about.
Definitely. Creating a sustainable future requires all of us to play a part.
And remember, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to make a difference.
You can be a conscious consumer, an advocate for change, or simply someone who tries to live in harmony with nature.
Every step towards a more sustainable future is a step in the right direction.
And as we've seen, even small actions, multiplied by millions of people, can create a powerful ripple effect.
What an inspiring thought to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of sustainable entrepreneurship.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore ways you can contribute to a brighter future.
For all of us.
Absolutely. Until next time. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with the Eco-Entrepreneurs Academy, their reforestation efforts, the founders, whole journey.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how all these things come together. Entrepreneurship, sustainability, community.
So for you, what stands out as the most, remarkable thing about this academy?
That's a tough one. I think for me, it's that they're taking a really holistic approach. It's not just about planting trees, it's about creating a system, a whole ecosystem that supports sustainable businesses.
And empowers those entrepreneurs.
Right, and creates that sense of shared responsibility for the planet.
I agree that interconnectedness is what makes their model so interesting. They're tackling so many different aspects of sustainability, from the environment to economics to community building.
And they do it with such enthusiasm. It's contagious.
It really is. You can tell the founder is truly passionate about this. He believes in collective action, in making a real difference, and he's created this platform to help people put that belief into practice.
It's nice to see, a lot of times when we talk about environmental issues, it's all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
But they're offering solutions, giving people a way to be part of the change.
And it's not just talk. They're backing it up with action. Planting trees, supporting sustainable businesses, walking the walk.
It's more than just planting trees, though,
What do
right?
you mean?
It's about planting seeds of change for a future that's more sustainable, more equitable.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's not about these huge sweeping changes. It's about the little things we do every day, those small choices.
Right, like the founder said, reducing our carving footprint. That resonated with me.
Me too.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play.
That's what I like about this deep dive. It's not just about informing us, it's about inspiring us to do something.
So as we wrap up, I want to ask our listeners, what part of this resonated with you? What changes, big or small, could you make in your own life, in your work?
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Because building a sustainable future is a team effort, and every action counts.
And you don't need to be an entrepreneur to make a difference. You can be a conscious consumer, an advocate, someone who tries to live in harmony with nature.
Exactly.
Every step towards a more sustainable future, no matter how small, it's a step in the right direction.
And as we've learned today, those small actions multiplied by millions can have a massive impact.
It's inspiring, isn't it? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into sustainable entrepreneurship.
Just fun.
We hope you learned something and maybe even feel inspired to create a brighter future for all of us.
Absolutely.
Until next time.